Okay, we're live and I'm getting this same message. Hangouts is going away. For quick streaming, try... Why doesn't it do that when I go to set up the live stream? Why doesn't it say, hey, do you want to do this via youtube.com webcam? I might fuck around with that another time. Who knows? That's just YouTube being YouTube as far as I can see. Well, so see who's in chat this evening. If anyone, we're off to a slow start. Maybe this is just, the watchy back folks later, a little private time. See what we can see. Hello, Justin. How are you this evening? Yes, just gearing on up for a Thursday night. Got if you got a common work week, one more day. Casual Friday tomorrow. How weird is Casual Friday, by the way? Facts over feels. Hello. Fox, it's your birthday and you have a cocktail. Cheers to you. Well, fruit juice at the moment. Well, it's like a fruit cocktail I made. Lime juice and pineapple. But yes, happy birthday. I'll make a cocktail later. Justin, you're watching. Are you actually watching from a plane? How amazing is technology? That's the case. That's pretty wild. What brings you to the fair city of Melbourne? I don't know. I played with the camera settings again before going live, and I don't know if I've made it too intense. Like the default settings on this camera have always made me look very pale and pasty, but then, to be fair, I am pale and pasty. Catherine making a cup of tea, that's fair. So it's even in cold weather. I drink cold drinks. I do not drink hot drinks very often, and never coffee. I hate coffee. Very rare for me to drink tea. I don't hate it, but I don't particularly like it. And I like if I go to a cafe with someone, I'll have a hot chocolate. If they're having tea or coffee, I'll have hot chocolate. Oh, Justin, you haven't taken off yet. Well, so what are you doing in Melbourne on the weekend, or for however long you're coming here? Work, pleasure. Your work is your pleasure. Pleasure is your work. Which of these things? Which of these things is it? I might try out this YouTube webcam on the weekend. Then again, might not. One thing I do intend to do on the weekend is the next installment of a podcast. Now, if I can get Aidsy over here, I will. Don't exactly know what he's doing. But another friend who has been in lots of videos over the year, Eva, known online as Deliciously Bad, published a book recently, The Teen Girl's Guide to Getting Off. She's a relationship and sex advice specialist, published columnist. She knows what she's talking about. And I'm going to get her on to chat. I haven't worked out exactly what I'm going to do. If I'm going to just maybe do it, via Skype or something and pre-record it and upload it, or just do a live stream like this and record it for a podcast. Hello, Charlie. Justin, you're having a 30th birthday celebration in Melbourne. Well, I hope that's fun. That's a good event to celebrate. I'm catching up with some YouTubers on the weekend. Actually, we're having one of our semi-regular meetups, and among other things, got to work with some people doing pitches for a web series. There's a couple of competitions coming up where you can get some money to turn your idea for a web series into a reality. You go from idea to reality. So we've got two birthdays, Justin and Fox of Fate, today or soon or recently. So if I'd have known, I would have made a cake and then eaten all of it. But, you know, symbolically, it would have been a birthday cake for Justin and Fox. Nug, how's it going? How is it going? Okay, so you're Saturday, Justin. So I assume that's when you're having your party as well. Lucky to have a significant birthday on a Saturday. Good timing for having a party. Very, very handy. And hey, Gecko, how are you doing? It's yeah. Well, okay. We'll turn tonight into a celebration then. I'll have to make a birthday cocktail a bit later. No, talking on Tuesday night, I was talking about making a port cocktail, which I still may. But I'm going to see what shows up if I search for a birthday cocktail. Birthday cake martini. That looks like a white chocolate. I don't really have them. They've all got, oh my God, they're all incredibly brightly colored and with sprinkles. Okay, this site's top 5 birthday cocktails. Hey, you're at a Scorpion. How's it going? Well, yeah, it's the birthday show. Didn't know? Oh, God damn. Gecko, your car got repoed. No money. Yep, that does suck. And your birthday's on the 22nd, so that's 3 birthdays in within a week of each other. Very good surprise birthday show. Okay, why is sex on the beach a birthday cocktail? That's a shit cocktail too. Well, it's not a shit cocktail. It's just a cheesy cocktail. Vodka and schnapps and orange juice and cranberry juice. A French martini. What's a French martini? Oh, Chambord. Instead of vermouth, and I don't have Chambord. Vodka, Chambord, pineapple juice, and raspberries. Well, that's much sweeter than a normal martini. A woo-woo. That's a silly name, which I've never actually heard of. Peach schnapps, vodka, and cranberry juice. I don't have peach schnapps. I don't have any schnapps. Some apple pear brandy from Germany, which is not that far removed from schnapps. Be like an apple-tini. I could make I could make an apple-tini with that apple pear brandy and vodka and cranberry juice. And I've got flavored vodkas here. I've got lime and caramel and mint. Gecko, I haven't been able to sleep. Yes, I try not to have caffeine. And I don't drink coffee, and I certainly wouldn't have an energy drink late in the day unless I was really fucking cactus. But yeah, those who know me know I drink the Pepsi Max, but I try to stop drinking that by 7 or 8 o'clock. Not just from a caffeine point of view, but from the old having to get up to go pee-pees in the middle of the night thing. I prefer to avoid that if I possibly could. So I tend to stop drinking anything, and unless it's with you lot on a live stream when I always do drink. Leanne, yes, birthday cocktails, margaritas. I could make margarita. I think I've got tequila. Yeah, Gecko, I don't think. Oh well, some people are really affected by tea. There is a little bit of caffeine in tea. Yeah, well, Fox Fate, where's my lime vodka? A little bit of lime, just a little bit left. The old skull decanter. That's actually made like I steeped lime skin, like I peeled lime, a little bit of sediment in there. That's probably gonna kill me. It's got an infection in it. Oh well, the alcohol will kill anything bad, I'm sure. So that's actual, real, natural lime flavor. Oh, and look, I got my bloody. I forget, but that's rock candy flavored. It's very bright pink. Rock candy. Maybe I should put that in the appletini, so make it look like a girly drink. Yes, strawberry daiquiri, rum, strawberry liqueur, which I don't have, lime juice. I've got lime juice. No, I've got lemon juice. I don't have lime juice. Sugar syrup, a raspberry. This is one that actually looks like a birthday cake. Raspberry vodka, vanilla vodka, sugar syrup. Yeah, half and half. So that's milk and cream, isn't it? It's the American thing, and raspberries. Yeah, I don't have any sort of creamy things I could put in there. Catherine, you like espresso martini? See, I don't like coffee as a flavor at all. And martini is not something I often drink, but I definitely don't drink espresso martinis because I hate coffee. Scorpion, like my skull decanters, I have them in. How many different sizes do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, 6 if I count the little. I got little crystal head vodka bottles in duty free last time I was there. They're like this big. Got them a couple of years ago. Still haven't drunk. I drunk 2 of. I got 4, I think, and I think I drank 2 of them. And I gave one of the little bottles to someone else. I keep all the bottles. So I've actually got 5 different size skull decanters. Just like me being a teenage boy again, really. Yes, Leanne, make yourself one, and that way we're not drinking alone. We're drinking with friends, so it's absolutely socially acceptable. Justin, you're going to the Hofbrau house. You're gonna have a liter of beer and the schnapps. Oh, Justin, why do I think you're going to get absolutely smashed? It sounds like you're going to get absolutely smashed. Gecko, you have Kingston Golden Circle, they get sloshed in a bottle of whiskey. Yes. Yes, the Kingsman's films are deliberately silly and campy, and you can enjoy them on that level, I think. See, these are the big ones. This is Crystal Head vodka comes in, and I've actually got a bigger one. This came with a set, a big skull decanter and skull shot glasses. Also got I got some really nice cut glass skull shot glasses that came with one of the bottles of Crystal Head vodka I got. That was like a gift set, and another one was martini glass with a skull on the stem. It's very delicate. I'm always paranoid I'm going to break it. Maybe I can. Okay, maybe I'll make a variation on an appletini and put it in that glass tonight. Ah, there you go, Justin in the air. Nice. Miss Foxification, hello to you. Ah, Catherine, you got a free espresso martini from Hoyt's because it was your birthday. Oh, because you're on your own. Oh, well, I'm glad they gave you one. All right, so Justin in possibly a first is watching an Angry live stream from a plane. I don't think anyone's ever done that before. So there you go. Oh, Fox, that's a good question. A technical difference between a glass bottle and a decanter. I guess any definition that separates them is going to be arbitrary. A bottle is something that, and this is a very arbitrary definition. A bottle is something that a drink comes in, like it's delivered to you in a bottle. But a decanter, you pour into. Traditionally, is what you did with wine to let it breathe. You poured wine into the decanter to decant it. So a bottle is how something is, I guess, given to you, sold to you, whatever. A decanter is something you pour a bottled drink into. Now, traditionally, and again, I think some people would say, oh, it has to be within a certain type of shape to count as a bottle. But even though I bought this from the bottle shop, with Crystal Head vodka in it, a lot of people would call this a decanter more than a bottle, but it's the bottle that the vodka came in. Where I don't know, because these are little. I actually have variants. I have two types in these hold about the same volume. And that one and this one it's almost the same as the Crystal Head one, but smaller. And this is a different style. I think most people would call these bottles. That's my dirty tequila, by the way. It's tequila with some rock candy dissolved in it. Strings on a plane. I don't want this motherfucking YouTube stream off my motherfucking plane. Could be it. Ah, there you go, Gecko. Chemist's decant from flasks. Yes, those science bottles are called flasks. Yes. Ah, there you go, Miss Foxification. That's a fine definition. Decanter have a greater surface area for the liquid. So I guess you could argue if you've got a narrow thing like this, it's a bottle, and if it's more open, it's a decanter. That's probably about as accurate a description as you're going to get. Yes, Miss Foxification, you're right. Angry air doesn't sound like a good way to fly. Feels like you'd get abused by the flight staff. And you don't really want that while you're up in the air. Yes, fascinating talk of bottles and flasks and decanters. Who predict what we're going to talk about on any particular live stream? Because the topics range so much, so widely, and so quickly. And that's another one, RC. You're right. Ship's decanter. That's you get the ones that have the really wide bottoms, so it's not going to get tipped when the ship rocks back and forth. Justin, you want to post pictures of your flight in chat. Yeah, unfortunately, that's a thing. That's not even a thing I can allow. I don't think it's just not a thing. So now, Fox, now you're getting somewhere with, so a really large open red wine glass. Is that technically a decanter? See, now you've opened up a whole another front in the argument, arguing about the delineation between bottle, flask, and decanter. Now you're arguing that technically would a very large wine glass count as a decanter? You could make that argument. Charlie going for the wide bottom pump. Yes, Miss Foxification, goblets as well. Yeah. We were talking about a decant being a verb. So if you tip liquid from one container to another, you are decanting it. I think whether it's strictly speaking true, but I think it's generally held you're decanting if you're pouring from a sealed container into an open container. So that would be another thing that makes this a bottle rather than a decanter, that you seal it. You drink straight from the bottle. I would not, because this is not the original Crystal Head vodka. This is about 50% vodka and 50% Polish rectified spiritus, which is 95% alcohol. And I steeped some rosemary, I think it was a herb from the garden anyway, and I left it for too long and it went incredibly green. Like the original, this has been diluted so many times to go this color green. And the original thing was the green was so dark, it almost looked black, but it took so much flavor from the rosemary. It was really hard to drink because it had a really strong flavour. Not that you would drink the Polish spirit straight, because that will kill you. That's not what it's designed for. It's designed to make tonics and tinctures, but now it's been deleted. I mean, it probably tastes more like vodka now. Oh, sweet. Good point, Miss Foxification. You also say yes, decant LPG off a main tank as well when you're pouring it in small. Doesn't smell that strong anymore. What's it taste like? Yeah, it's very herby. It's not completely unpleasant. Ooh, yes, and then it goes warm all the way down. Yeah, it still tastes very much like herbs. Like all these other ones, they're artificially colored, the ones I've made. They have rock candy in them, and I was going to put some of that in here because this is green and that's green, but I didn't. So all these other ones, apart from the lime. The lime is actually from, I think I actually put some artificial color in that. I steeped some skin from fresh limes in there, and I think I wanted it to be more of a color, and I think I put green food coloring in it. Justin's on QF823. Gecko, is salvia legal? That's the marijuana, isn't it? And the answer would be no. There's like no legal recreational drugs in Australia apart from alcohol. We are getting a bit more advanced with medicinal marijuana becoming more available. But, you can make a lot of arguments about freely available drugs would have a negative effect with a lot of people, but no way would they have as bad effect as alcohol. What's salvia? I thought salvia was a derivative from pot. I'm just displaying my ignorance, but I thought it was. Dr. Obama, I put Chuck there when Mimsy's gone God knows where. I saw her wandering off up the hall when I was getting ready to set up. She may come in. I mean, she came in for the last half hour on Tuesday. So, Leanne, thoughts on kratom? I've heard of kratom. And I can't think, so I'm doing the Google search. It's a drug from a tropical tree native to Southeast Asia. Can have psychotropic effects. I'm already a fan. Cause effects similar to both opioids and stimulants. I'm a really big fan. Certainly never had exposure to it myself. I'm intrigued though. Gecko, kratom is not a hoax, I don't think. Salvia. I was thinking of sativa, wasn't I? That's where I got the thing. I was thinking of sativa, wasn't I? Okay, plant species with transient psychoactive properties when the leaves are chewed. What's another one in Southeast Asia? The betel nut is something that's chewed in parts of Southeast Asia. Oh, Dr. Bram, I did hear that Bernardi was deregistering his independent Conservative Party. I don't know if the Libs will take him back. He's basically saying he only left the Liberal Party because Malcolm Turnbull is a big poo-poo head, but he likes Scott Morrison and there's no point in being separate. I don't know if the Libs will take him back. Oh, Gecko, that's that South American thing you're talking about, that ayahuasca. And you're supposed to do a whole ceremony with ayahuasca. Oh, it's been really common around the world for various ancient societies to dabble in psychoactives. Gecko is our government blown up. It's been boring as fuck. There is a bit of a scandal brewing that looks like a couple government ministers were trying to secretly get a law change that would have commercially benefited them. I don't know if anything's going to come from that, but maybe yeah, I don't know. It's been a whole bunch of nothing since the election. I feel, I don't know about anyone else, but there's sort of rumblings and suggestions of what tactics the government's going to use over the next 3 years, going for their fucking culture war all the time. Oh my God, Miss Fox, question about crocodile. That's that really fucked up, cheap Russian drug. You really don't want to. I don't know what the fuck people would take that for. Your life must be pretty bleak if you don't get to think. Dr. Brahma, you want the Setka affair to blow over. I want Setka to fuck off. I want Setka out of the union movement. I'm very pro-union, but Setka is a piece of shit. He needs to be fucking gone. See, no, why did I laugh at that really disturbing thing you put? If the US decides to attack Iran, Morrison will go. I would assume Morrison would vocally support the US. I just hope the US doesn't, because that's fucking disastrous. The idea of the US launching military action against Iran has just got fucking disaster written all over it. Massive fucking false pretenses for everything, but just like a fucking disaster. Fox, I think the US is literally taking lessons from Australia on concentration camps, going off our Nauru Manus Island model to fucking torture and persecute asylum seekers. It's fucking sick. And Ms. Fox, okay, I think you've hit on why people take crocodile, because it's very, very cheap, and that is depressing. Fuck. Oh shit, Gecko. No, I didn't. See, I've got a brain like a fucking sieve. I forget things. I've still got the link you sent me about Grandpa's dirty music, but I've got a brain like a fucking sieve, and I forget to do things. Whenever I agree to do something with someone, I normally tell them, you're going to have to remind me heaps, because I'm really fucking shit at remembering to do things. Right, Gecko, I think your little joke there of me playing it live is the suggestion that would be, but I don't mind if, I played something that was rude. My concern is the content matching on YouTube. If YouTube content matched anything I played, that would get me killed off from doing live streams. Yes, Fox, that was my reference for the title of this, because there's all that argument in the US where they've got their evil fucking concentration camps. We get these people saying, oh, it's wrong to call them concentration camps. I don't think so. I think it's factual description of what they fucking are. Same as, I mean, I don't even call the Australian ones concentration camps. They're fucking torture camps. They're homicidally evil fucking torture camps. And both the Liberals and Labor neck deep in shame over this. It's an absolute abomination, and it's absolutely fucking reprehensible that this is happening in Australia. Well, that's a nice string of dominoes, Miss Foxification. If there's conflict with Iran, of course it'll destabilize the Middle East. But you've got the Saudis who want to attack Iran. And yeah, then you get all the proxies like funding insurgent and terrorist activity in Palestine to attack Israel. Israel wants to attack Iran as well. Yeah, and then if Jordan gets involved, yeah, I'd like to say Syria could get worse if that's possible. Yeah, it would be a little bit difficult for Syria to get worse. It's actually pretty goddamn bad. Yeah, Gecko, I get what you're saying. That thing might not get content matched, but the thing is, there's no appeal if something gets content matched by YouTube. That's bye-bye live streams. Oh, the link. You're let me see. So it was on Facebook that you sent it, well, Messenger, but because I'm on a laptop, it'll be on Messenger. Let me find it. Oh my God, this laptop is so slow. So very, very slow. Good God. Oh, okay. Come on. Come on. You can do it. You can do it, little buddy. You can do it. Okay. Let me find it. There we are. Yeah, come on, open. There you go. You can do it. Dirty radio recordings. Okay. This is on SoundCloud. I'm not going to play it because I'm worried about getting content matched. But that's what Gecko sent. It's apparently naughty. It's naughty. Justin, you don't believe the motivation of any of these conservatives who say calling the US concentration camps is insulting to the Holocaust survivors. No, it's not. Holocaust survivors are saying, oh no, fuck, they're concentration camps. This is how totalitarianism starts. That's fucked. I can't use this laptop for anything serious. Literally these days, the only thing I use it for is live streaming. Okay, so that link from Gecko was recorded sometime in the 70s or 80s. Okay, wild. Hopefully I will remember to listen to it. So I'm like, oh my God, like I said, my brain's a sieve. No excuses, my brain's a sieve. Yeah, that's just bad. Dr. Brown, what do I think about Crowder and Vox? Crowder is a lying, fucking bigoted piece of shit who should be completely kicked off YouTube. He is one of these fucking Nazi-adjacent shitheads whose entire goal is to popularize and validate hate speech while claiming all the time, I'm not saying it, I'm just asking questions. I'm saying, hey, change my mind. Hey, this. No, fuck you, you gutless, spineless shithead. There's that whole fucking raft of them who are either overt white supremacists, even though most of them deny it, but they're obvious and overt white supremacists, or they're doing that whole shit stirring thing where I don't know if you've heard the phrase the Overton window. It's I don't know who Overton was, but it's used to describe, well, in polite society, here is the acceptable frame of things for public discourse. It's like if you go outside of this, you're regarded as being unacceptable. Like, being an actual Nazi or, in the Klan is outside the Overton window. But people like Crowder and all those other fuckheads try to normalize hate speech, saying it's just jokes, it's jokes, it's jokes. And the goal is to move the Overton window further to the right. It's basically have all this really outrageous shit become so normalized, people start to think that it's acceptable to say. And like I say, you've got the two schools of thought. The blatant white supremacists who still lie about being white supremacists. And then the other ones are going like, oh, I'm a troll, I'm shitposting. And their entire goal is to normalize hate speech. It's like, oh, it's just jokes, it's free speech, should be. And no, get fucked. I have no time for that bullshit at all. I mean, to a large extent, those ones who are doing the just saying, just jokes, free speech, they're worse than the overt white supremacists because they're pushing the same toxic shit, but they don't. Sorry, Dr. Bobby just made me laugh. Baron, click this, put in one of his videos. How obsessed is that fucking loser? Like, the way he keeps, like, clipping bits from my live streams, it's like, my God, that fucking loser has to sit through my live streams, and I assume he's hate wanking the whole time because the level of, I mean, how many years has that fucking loser been obsessed with me? And that level of obsession, it's got to be sexual. That's all there is to it. It's, my God. The idea of subjecting yourself to that is thing. See, and I don't even include sad fucks like Bearing when I'm talking about grown stuff, because he's just pathetic. Those other ones, they have a public profile. They are in a position where, you know, their message is being repeated in media, and that's actually important. Bearing's just fucking sad. Oh yeah, Gecko. Yes, I saw that. Alex Jones actually lost one of the court cases where parent of a Sandy Hook murder victim is suing him for the shit he's caused. That Jones needs to be sued into oblivion. The idea that shit, I mean, he's so toxic. He ruined people's lives. People whose lives had already gone through about the worst thing imaginable, their little kids being murdered at school, and then having psychopaths say that it's not real, that you're staging it, and they're stalking the people are having to be, it's just fucking abomination. It's just an absolute fucking abomination. And that's not free speech. That's destroying the lives of completely innocent people. That's a criminal act. And Jones and anyone else who does that shit deserves to be sued into fucking oblivion. It's not acceptable. And I have zero patience for anyone who does that sort of thing, that victimizing of innocent people, that destroying people's lives. Anyone who calls that free speech can get fucked, honestly. It's absolutely garbage. Oh my God, Miss Fox, another milk recall? What the fuck is with milk contamination? Last week we had, or earlier this week, it was like some 1 litre milks in Coles, I think, and Woolies had been contaminated with a chemical at the factory. Now you're saying there's a microbial. I don't know. Some people say microbial. I think that's the more common thing. I think I'm being ridiculous saying microbial. I think microbial. I think everyone says microbial. Microbial contamination. You can't detect it through taste or smell, but can cause serious injury. Good God. Well, that's fucked. I'm going to see if I can find some info on it. Let me get the old web browser groaning along, because it will groan along. It'll probably be prominently on news if I look for it. Which one's news? Contacts drive. Wait, why is the news not there? I'm fucking confused. Where's Google News gone? All right, I'll just do milk recall. It's a really old version of the browser here. I don't know. News. Milk. Ooh, E. coli contamination. Dun dun dun. Popular milk brands, major supermarkets, E. coli. There's poo in the milk. So it's 7-Eleven, light 2 meter, Gippy full cream milk, Gippy light cream, Maxi, Paul's, Rev, low fat. God damn. They're sold at Coles, Woolworths, IGA's, Independent in Victoria and southern New South Wales. God damn. Well, geez. Yeah, I think PETA have been contaminating the milk to stop people from drinking it. That's pretty effective. That's better than campaigns to make people feel guilty about drinking cow milk. Just contaminate it with poo. That's going to turn more people off milk. Sorry, it won't stop me drinking milk. It's one of the funniest things, like Jamie Oliver with his big campaign to get people to eat healthy, and like with kids, he's doing Jamie's Kitchen for Kids, and he's talking kids out of eating chicken nuggets by showing them the weird pulpy gross shit it's actually made out of. And he like it worked in Britain with the kids he showed it to, like, yeah, I'm never eating nuggets again. And then he did it in the US, and the kids are watching this gross pulpy stuff they make chicken nuggets out of, and they were going, ew, that's gross. And then Jamie Oliver shows them a plate of chicken nuggets. Do you want to eat a nugget now? And they'll go, yeah. And he goes, what? You said it was gross. Why do you want to eat it? He goes, nuggets are yum. And he was completely floored that these kids were not grossed out enough to stop eating nuggets. Oh, well. Well, that's a good question, Dr. Obama. If Gina Reinhardt dies and she's alienated from her kids, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what she's done with her will, actually. And if it's not completely straightforward, I mean, expect a long and ugly court battle, because I think it's billions of dollars involved. So if the kids are cut out of inheritance, I would imagine they would fucking fight hard. Yeah, there'd be some, honestly, probably whatever the will says, there'll probably be major court cases fighting over it. Who knows? Hey, what happened to, I'm going to randomly ask Harry Potter trivia. I want to see, I'm going to ask these. See who gets these Harry Potter trivia questions right. I haven't done Harry Potter trivia for a while. Who did RAB instruct to destroy the Locket Horcrux after his death? So someone was instructed by RAB to destroy the Locket Horcrux when he died. So who was supposed to do it? I don't even know who RAB is. So I'm not a very hardcore Harry Potter person, obviously. I vaguely know this. I haven't read the books. I watched the movies. Catherine, if I remember right, Catherine, when I had the Harry Potter trivia competitions, you wiped the floor with everyone. Creature is the right answer. What are those things called? Are they elf? That's right. Dobby is a free elf. I was thinking calling them goblins. Are the definitely not Jewish caricatures who run the banks? Are they called goblins? Oh, thank you, Misclassification. Rag is Regulus Arcturus Black. Sirius's dad? Okay, this one. Who does, oh, no, not who, how. How does Cedric Diggory breathe underwater during the second task of the Triwizard Tournament? This bit I remember because I saw this. They all had different ways of breathing underwater. Cedric Diggory uses a particular spell. And Gecko is mostly there. That's it. Catherine got it exactly right. The bubblehead charm. Gecko is mostly there with the bubble air thing, but it's called the bubblehead charm. Yes, yes, you can find it. Gringotts is run by the definitely not Jews goblins. I think any sort of negative imagery with them is completely unconscious on Rowling's part. That doesn't mean it's not there. That just means it was in her subconscious. Anyway, all right. Which potion does Professor Slughorn describe as very dangerous because it induces a power infatuation? A power infatuation. I think Donald Trump has drunk that one. Hey-o, topical. Just bringing the zingers, Harry Potter zingers at Donald Trump. Hey, Batman, how's it going? Well, I'm just having a brief minute of Harry Potter trivia. Catherine, no, it's not Felix Facilis, and it's not a love potion, Gecko. No, it's not Felix Facilis. There you go. There you go. This one's apparently I didn't know this one, but it's not Felix Facilis. I'm gonna give you another 10 seconds, and then I'm just gonna tell you the answer. Doing good, matey. We're rolling along. Oh look, I'm actually stumping the Harry Potter fans. It's not a luck potion either. Well, it might be a luck potion, but the name they give it is Amortentia. Amor for love. So it is a love potion, but the actual name is Amortentia. See, I remember my Latin from school. Amor for love. Amortentia. There you go. Ooh, there you go. You know that? Philosopher's Stone has 2 powers. Aside from producing the elixir of life, what other power does the Philosopher's Stone produce? Justin, you prefer me to the in-flight entertainment. Well, I'm glad you're getting there. I'm glad you're getting the stream still. Anyone like you? Justin's on a flight coming down to Melbourne, and he's actually watching the live stream on the flight because technology is freakily amazing. Gecko, you are mostly there. Apparently, the Philosopher's Stone turns any metal to pure gold. So it's not just lead to gold. Yeah, Catherine got it. It's any metal to gold. That's the other thing that alchemists thought they could turn. They were fixated on lead to gold. Apparently, the Philosopher's Stone does any metal to gold. Oh, where did the Dumbledore family live? Oh, so yeah, I know this because this came up in the last movie. Where did the Dumbledore family live when Albus was a boy? Bobo, what's the Muppet? That's Chuck. He's the Chuppa Chup mascot, and he's freaky as hell. Oh, I think I hear Mimsy actually. All right, I'm going to move Chuck. Mimsy, you can come up here. Come up and say hello to everyone. Come on. That's it. Come on, up here. That's it. Yes. All right, Chuck's gone, and the ever-popular Mimsy is here. Yeah, see, Catherine, you got it. Patman, you're there too. It's Godric's Hollow. That's the same place Harry lived, wasn't it? Was it? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to ask the last question on this one. You just guessed this one. What color handbag does the Snape Bogart carry? You know this one, Mimsy? What color handbag does the Snape Bogart carry? Yeah. There you go. She's all's right in the world. Mimsy's on her throne. Chuck has been deposed. Good guess, Kaiju Green. Not right. Gecko gets in first. So it seems like I'm looking. I think Gecko and Catherine are the gun Harry Potter trivia people. It was red. The Bogart Snape had a red handbag. Just thought I'd do that. for a 5-minute diversion. I feel like Mimsy's sniffing my booze. Don't sniff my booze, Mimsy. Oh, I saw that misfoxification. It was Chennai, one of India's largest cities, running out of water. Like their main four main reservoirs. No, don't go there, Mimsy. No, no, don't go up on the counter. No, bad, Mimsy. No. Yes. Yeah, and Chennai is the worst affected by drought in India, but apparently several other major cities. I mean, what happens when cities with millions of people run out of water? Like this was going to happen in South Africa as well. This is the fucking Mad Max water wars. So, and I mean, it sounds like I'm being glib, but when millions of people, what happens when millions of people cannot stay where they are and they run out of water? Fucking in an already volatile part of the. Sorry, I just felt that sneeze coming on. Something tickled my nose. Jim, I was very kind of you to say I've lost weight since the start of the year. I've lost about 10 kilos this year. And I've been really slack for the last, I haven't put any on, but I've been very slack for the last couple of months and haven't really lost any more. But not putting it on is good as well. I need to get a bit more serious. The goal would be to lose like another, I have to lose 20 kilos just to have a dad bod. Otherwise, I'm just a beast. So I have to lose another 20 kilos just to have a dad bod for summer. Justin, that would make sense if there are avocado plantations in South Africa because they use a lot of water. Dr. Obama, playing with fire. Who's my favorite liberally? Like in all of history? I mean, retrospectively, Malcolm Fraser showed himself to be a person of some considerable integrity. I disagreed with his economic policies, but he took moral responsibility for Southeast Asian refugees that were a product of fucking Australia's foreign policy. He's still hated by people in the Liberal Party for that. The conservative racists who've held sway since the Howard years still shit talk Malcolm Fraser. I mean, at the time, you know, everyone on the left was like, he's a fucking Nazi. He had very austere economic policies that I don't agree with, but he at least showed himself to be a person of integrity. And, you know, on some topics, he has considerably more integrity than some Labor leaders. And like I said, on a lot of policy level stuff, I disagree with Malcolm Fraser. But yeah, at the same token, he maintained internal integrity in a way that a lot of politicians of any persuasion fail to do. Oh yeah, Pat, we're talking about that. Corey Bernardi deregistering his party. It seems he wants to go back to the Liberal Party. Don't know if they'll take him though. Don't know if they'll take him. Oh, misclassification. You're saying South Africa's been digging down to get water, like artesian water. Yeah, that'll only last for so long. Justin, I don't think Corey Bernardi endorsed Sarah Hanson-Young from the Greens. That sounds incredibly unlikely. Oh, are you saying Malcolm Fraser? Malcolm Fraser, if that's who you're talking about, he did turn into, honestly, a bit of a lefty in his head. Yeah, so again, Hewson seems a relatively reasonable person. Again, economically, I completely disagree with the economic policies that Hewson proposed. Like he was never he was never actually prime minister. He was the one who lost the election that people thought was unlosable. They assumed Keating was going to get smashed, and Keating actually won. Much like people assumed Bill Shorten was just going to waltz into the lodge and Scott Morrison would have the record for the shortest serving prime minister ever. But Morrison won. Ha ha. So it's a strange old world. Oh look, I finished my drink. It's just 4:09. So I was what should I make? A port cocktail or like a version of an appletini? I'd make it with my pink vodka, and I'd maybe even put a bit of cranberry in it. So it'd be a very girly drink. What was it? I looked up the port cocktail on Tuesday night. And there was one that sounded good. Sorry, RC, did I just ruin your night by saying Morrison won the election? Oh yeah, this is the right page. It's not White Port. Port Royal, was that it? Mezcal, no, Black Cup. Might have been this one, the Black Cup. It's not Valentino's Delight. Oh, it was this one. It was a really shitty name, the Port Elderflower Cocktail. But it sounds interesting because it's port, rum, and elderflower liqueur, and I have all those. Yeah, this was Miss Foxification. They were originally thinking the day zero, as in the run out of water from Cape Town, was going to happen a year or so ago. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dr. Obama, someone in South Australian Labor said the Shorten opposition were the most progressive Labor had been since Whitlam. Fuck it. A term that I see on Twitter that I really love because it makes me laugh is to call people Labor brokens. Gecko, you've got to go to bed. Look after yourself, man. Okay? Little stressful in life. That's probably why you can't sleep, because things are a bit stressful. So I hope things sort out for you. And yes, get a bit of sleep, definitely. And how do you feel, and Sealer? But anyway, Dr. Barber saying someone from South Australian Labor reckons Shorten were progressive. He was a fucking big truckload of nothing. He thought he'd get into power by just being nothing because the Liberals were so fucked. Turns out that didn't work. Yeah, but there's this term people use on Twitter that are like, for people who are fixated on supporting Labor no matter what, like they ignore Labor's absolutely fucked policy on asylum seekers and border control. They ignore all the glaring fucking shortcomings of Bill Shorten. And people call them Labor brokens because it's like they're so fucking rusted on to Labor that they're incapable of acknowledging that there are problems with Labor. And turns out they really fucking hate being called Labor brokens. They get really upset, which makes it even funnier. I'm going to try this port cocktail. All right, shake with ice. I'm going to do that. I'll maybe have it in my... I'd say, Dr. Obama, I support Labor. Like some people who are left will say, oh, Labor shit me, so I'm going to vote Greens. I go, no, Greens are not forming government, so fuck them. I support Labor in terms of elections. But the idea of being unable to actually acknowledge the glaring fucking shortcomings in Labor, that's a problem. That is a failing of character. Come over here, you silly cat. A failing of character to not be able to acknowledge their very severe failings. Bobo, you like a fruit tingle or death by chocolate? Everyone has a favorite. I'm going to make this port one. So it's just port and rum. What rum do I have? It says light rum. I'll use Captain Morgan. Port and rum and elderflower. Shake them with it. All right, I'll get my cocktail shaker, which is just over here. Oh! All right, cocktail shaker. Put a bit of ice in it. Ice. Right. I want to get. No, I'm going to put it in the martini glass. I know what I'm doing. Where's my nice glass? Here it is. I'll just keep talking so you know I'm still here. Get my skull martini glass. Oh, really had to reach then. Oh, with my fucked shoulder, that's not fun. Okay, so I've got my glass, I've got my cocktail shaker. See, this came with a bottle. I don't know if you can see it. Came with a bottle of crystal, maybe on. Ah, so you see it against my black thing. There's a skull on the stem, which is quite nice. And with one of my bottles of Crystal Head vodka. Right, so we've got the shaker. Now I need the ingredients: the port, the elderflower, and the rum. Oh, okay. We're all ready to party now. Move them. I've got to check the volumes I'm supposed to do it in. Someone's gone to the trouble of working out. I'm feeling your first drum at 13 was Garuba. Yeah, that would get you drunk, definitely. 13, good Lord. Dr. Obama, Albo would have been far better than Shorten. I never liked the idea of Shorten as leader. I don't think he deserved it because he was instrumental in knocking off Rudd and then subsequently knocking off Gillard, which was so destabilizing. It's so fucking the idea that after being that, he got rewarded. Shit. Oh, Justin, you're already landing. Cabin crew telling you to prepare for landing. Cool. Yes. That's a misfoxification. Your father was mother was a hamster. Your father smelt of elderflower, not elderberries, elderflower, alcohol. Okay. Double checking the ingredients a minute. Okay, full thing of bit less port, bit less elderflower. Okay. I can do that. Dun dun dun. Not really light rum. I don't know how many, but yeah. I don't know, Captain Morgan's pretty mild. It's lighter than the Kraken, which is the only other rum I have. Pour that in there. Mimsy's just crawling around under some bags beneath me. I don't know if you can hear her. Dr. Obama, so far, Albo has been shitting me, okay? He's like, I'll be like Liberal Party light and I might get elected. And that's shit. Albo needs to fucking grow a spine. Okay, bit of port. This would be interesting. I've never made this one before. Where's my elderflower? Probably need to buy some more elderflower. That's almost out. I always get a bit out of control when I get... No, not really. Okay, I wasn't supposed to put that much in. That's okay. It's actually really light alcohol. It's like 20%. What's the port? I got this one that was on special. Tawny finely blended with whiskey, which I can't taste. It's also 20%. It just tastes like port to me, but anyway. Okay. Fox, what's my opinion on Bundaberg rum? I'm not a big rum drinker. So I can't really tell you, I favour this rum. I need my bloody sifter thing so I don't get ice in my glass. Just a sec. Where is it? Where is it? I'm missing my implement. I'll get an implement. That's really weird. I'm slowly losing my... That sounds like a mental disorder, doesn't it? I'm losing my implements. Okay, I'll use my strainer. That's okay. Oops, I think I just disturbed Mimsy. Justin, I think Elbow can very effectively communicate with working class, ordinary people. But, wow, what the fuck? That's not the glass I wanted to do it in. Seriously, what's wrong with me? All right, take two. Jesus, all over the shop. Charlie, you're a Queenslander who thinks Bundy's trash. It's a bit of a bogan drink, quite honestly. Just to be really classist about it. Ooh, it's a nice colour. It is a nice colour. All right, put that over there. Put that over there. All right, so port elderflower rum. Just looks very brown on there. It's got a slightly more amber colour in real life. Smells pretty good. Port's probably the strongest note in the smell. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. Again, the port's the dominant flavour in there, unsurprisingly, because port's a really strong flavour. But the other stuff is giving it a bit of complexity. No, lock up all the arsehole world leaders in a cell with a bar and book of cocktails for world peace. Look, I'd be prepared to be bartender for them. You know, and anytime they're argumentative, just mix them another drink. Just chill, fucking chill out. Miss Foxfaction, I agree with what you're saying that our economy is probably going to tank, and we need stimulus policies like the ALP did when the global financial crisis hit. I'm really worried because I think the libs will just throw everyone to the wolves. Like, the economy will fucking tank. Unemployment will spike. The housing market will collapse, and they'll flail around like the fucking idiots they are. And they won't care who gets thrown on the fucking scrap pile. Oh no, I have feelings how it's going to happen. Oh no, well, see, Trump apparently is a teetotaler, which is fucking amazing. It's like, I'd almost feel a bit calmer about some of his behavior if I thought it was, you know, alcoholism that was driving it. But the fact that he does all that fucked up shit totally sober is truly stunning, is absolutely mind-boggling. Yeah, I think you're right, Feather and Sealers. Donnie's favourite drink would be a gold chain. I can make some mocktails for him, some fruit juice combos. Ah, that's really nice for something different. I like to make cocktails sometimes that are just different. Like, I have my favorites and I could have them all the time. Yeah, just doing something different. And it doesn't always work. Sometimes I make a different one. I was just checking. Now, this one has no mocktails. My other little cocktail books have some non-alcoholic drinks in them. But that one doesn't. It's all about the cocktails. Yeah. Yes, Miss Oxford. That was truly weird, the Liberals' promise of tax breaks in 6 years. That was absolutely surreal, quite honestly. I've been speaking of ridiculous Liberal promises, like their big scare campaign about Labor and we're taking away the franking credits from pensioners. Oh, no. I've heard stories. I've seen that like their lies and obfuscation were so convincing. Like that Labor policy would only affect retirees who didn't qualify for any pension support at all because they had north of $1.5 million worth of tax-free assets. But it got into people's heads that it's for all retirees. I've heard stories that like pensioners since the election have been going to Centrelink saying, when do I get my franking credits? And it's like, well, you fucking don't, because that's not how it works. You got scammed, you idiot. Mega Leech, how you doing, buddy? In fine, I'm going to say, oh, I'm just going to call it sunny Tasmania. I have no idea if it's sunny or not, but it's a fine island. I like it. Now, what would happen if Boris Johnson's in the bar? I imagine he gets shit-faced. I just picture Boris Johnson doing mad lines of cocaine and getting shit-faced. I don't think you get any more sense out of him, but at some point he's just going to fall over, and then you don't have to worry about him anymore. I think that's about the best you can hope for Boris Johnson. That just falls. Oh, just you got a phone call in the air. Technology, it's an amazing thing. Oh, Meglish had 2 weeks in Queensland. How was that? That's a big difference, Queensland to Tasmania. For those who don't know, like if you're in the US, that's like, I don't know, if you live in Minnesota and go and have 2 weeks in Florida, or if you're in Europe, if you live in, you know, Norway and you go and have 2 weeks in Spain. Very different, very different. No, going Boris near a pig head, I don't know. I think it'd be funny watching it'd be funny watching Boris mouth fuck a pig. It's like people abbreviated the thing when that story about David Cameron broke. Cameron fucked a pig. Well, okay. It was a dead pig, like something we cooked on a spot, and part of their initiation was you stick your dick in the dead pig's mouth. Not the same as fucking a pig, but, you know, metaphorically, not that far removed. Aussie, you're in Tassie as well. Yeah, this time of year, Tassie, quite fresh. Quite fresh. I remember when I went there, touring around with Mrs. Angry, and there was a beach, and I forget what it was called, but Lonely Planet listed it as one of the best beaches in the world. And it was picturesque. Like, it had very white sand, and there's these rocks that seem to have a high iron content because they're very red. So it's very picturesque, but it's cold as fuck because it's Tasmania. And I found it quite stupid that they just called it the best beach in the world, one of the best beaches, not one of the most photogenic. Because to me, best beach means you fucking swim at it. And honestly, you had to be pretty I was there in summer. You had to be pretty goddamn bold to swim at, that's it, RC, Wineglass Beach. I think that is it, actually. You know what I'm talking about. You had to be pretty goddamn bold to swim there. But it did look pretty. Justin has landed. That's nice. On the live stream for the entire flight. I love it. That's excellent news. Also, excellent news that you landed safely and you're in Melbourne for your birthday. Awesome. If you're in the CBD during the day on Saturday, I'm going to be hanging out with some YouTubers down near Federation Square, so that's always fun. Fox, okay, Fox, you bring that age-old a slur in Australia. People from Tasmania had 2 heads. And it's like all around the world, everyone's decided there's some part of the population that is very isolated and you suspect inbreeding and talk about them having 2 heads. There's this article, someone shared it on Facebook or Twitter about where does this story about Tasmanians living two heads come from? And they were just overthinking it so much. They were the story about there being a prevalence of goiters at a particular point in history, and it's like, and they're trying to come up with all these justifications for it. Like, it's just the stupid joke about because of the limited gene pool, people are inbred and have two heads. There's nothing beyond that. It's just this. Everyone everywhere in the world has this slur about somewhere. Also inbred, they had sex with sheep. Like Australians say it about New Zealanders. New Zealanders say it about Australians. The English say it about the Welsh. The Germans say it about the English. Everyone has these particular slurs. Music area, you're working. But you could drop by and say, hi, you can DM me where I don't know where you work, but that's the part of town I'm going to be on Saturday. But yes, there is a bit of a joke because of Tasmania being an island and not a particularly large one. Well, it depends what you're comparing it to. There's the old joke about it being a limited gene pool. Not true to the extent where you would actually really get inbreeding. But everyone says it, like, in the US they say it about people from the Appalachians, and they might be right. I don't know. The hillbillies, the people in the hills have eyes, all those things. Oh my God, what was that fucked up episode of X-Files that apparently they only screened once in the US, and because of the number of complaints they got, it's never been rebroadcast in syndication. We're this weird, crazy inbred hillbilly family who still think they're fighting the Civil War, which they call the War of Northern Aggression. That is some fucked up shit. That particular episode, that was some really, really weird stuff. It's just well inbred. I'm my own grandpa. The ultimate example of that in the Australian, I guess it's a sci-fi film because it involves time travel, called Predestination. If you really want a head fuck of a movie, go and watch Predestination. It's very well made. It's very clever. It just basically takes the idea of time travel would probably be very difficult because you would introduce paradoxes. And it goes, oh, time travel paradox. I'll give you the time travel paradox to beat all time travel paradoxes. This shit will do your head right in. So, oh yes, Feeler, the European royals, the Habsburgs who got so fucking ugly because of centuries of inbreeding. That was the joke in Europe and the aristocracy, the fucking Habsburgs. And even to a lesser degree, anemia is, I don't know if this is actually medically true, but I've always read that inbreeding can cause anemia to be uncommon. And I know the British royal family have a bit, the Russian royal family prior to the revolution, when they all got offed, were notorious for anemia. But yeah, I'd always read that. I don't know if this is actually medically accurate, but I heard that anemia was a sign of inbreeding. This fox question, the movie Primer, that sounds interesting. I notice Netflix has a bunch of sci-fi movies, like original Netflix movies they've added recently. I watched one of them the other day because they're all different genres. There's a time travel one. There's a Kids Save the World one. And there's like a sort of tough adventure. Sorry, I'm not logged into Netflix on this laptop. Netflix sci-fi movies. I'm trying to remember the name of the one I watched. I didn't watch it the other days. I did watch it. That's been out for a while. Annihilation. I watched. They love their sci-fi. Okay, so Netflix sci-fi. I did watch Annihilation when it came out, and I watched Mute when it came out, and the Cloverfield. Everyone ragged on the Cloverfield paradox, but I actually kind of enjoyed it. I might have watched Extinction. Oh, one of the new ones is called I Am Mother. It's like possible killer robot stuff. I haven't watched that, but I'm going to. I did watch Bright when it came out. I didn't watch Spectral. That was out for a while. I think the time travel one's called See You Yesterday. Haven't watched it yet. Oh, yeah, I did watch Bird Box, which I guess is technically sci-fi. I didn't watch the one with Sam Worthington, Titan, because I think people basically shit on it. Best sci-fi movies on Netflix right now. Let's have a look and see what they say is worth watching on it. I'm trying. I had the dude from Rogue One. Annihilation, yes. Mute. What was it? Wait, what's this? Oh, is this one of these sites that wants me to fucking click through 100 fucking pages? Fucking hate these sites. Nah, fuck you, man. Fuck you, I'm not doing that. Justin, you've already got off the plane. Good on you. Oh, so Primer's an Aussie movie. There's been an interesting few Australian sci-fi and genre films made in the last 5-10 years. Ah, yes, I just finished Chernobyl 2, Miss Foxification. I just watched the final episode yesterday, I think. And oh my God, isn't it fucking creepy? I don't know if anyone else knows it, but conservative mouthpieces in Australia saying, oh, that Chernobyl thing's all lies. Nuclear's really safe. We should use. And it's just like, you people are fucking scum. You people are so fucked. I can't believe it. Are you saying, okay, Miss Foxification, the same people who made the Chernobyl series have a mini doco called The Real Chernobyl? Okay. Yeah, apparently, well, obviously, when you watch the thing, they've invented all of the dialogue and storyline because we have no idea what actually happened. We know the basics of the physics of what went wrong and why the thing fucking blew up. But all the stuff, like everything in Chernobyl, the character interactions, the dialogue, that's all completely fictionalized and extrapolated from various things people said. But the spirit of what happens, the thing that floored me is I think the Chernobyl miniseries did a very good job of laying bare that freaky Soviet mindset, as in the state is perfect, the state cannot be criticized. If you criticize the glorious Soviet state, you're going to get fucking disappeared by the KGB. And so people, instead of trying to solve things, basically said, that isn't true, there isn't a problem. And that shit is fucking messed up. And that's what the things like people like Andrew fucking Bolt and the Sky News fuckheads who are going like, it's all dirty leftist lies about nuclear being bad. It's freaky the extent to which they don't seem to realize they're parroting the Soviet line. They sound exactly like the totalitarian Soviet state with, no, that's not the truth at all. It's really fucking shit. Oh, you're saying Sky were involved in the making of the thing. I know it was, you know, front and center. It was an HBO thing. Weird. I did hear, read a headline that said in Russia they're talking about making a very pro-Russia patriotic version of the Chernobyl story. And I mean, God knows you could, because the number of people who sacrificed their lives to save countless others. I mean, like, seriously, the worst case scenario for the Chernobyl disaster was killing everyone in Europe. It was basically, that's how bad the worst case scenario wasn't even killing everyone in Russia and the Soviet Union. The worst case scenario was killing everyone in Europe. That was an extreme worst case, but it was a possible worst case. And the only reason it wasn't 100 times worse than it was is because so many people sacrificed their own lives to stop a worse disaster, which is really humbling when you think about it. I just heard about that, the series about Roger Ailes and Fox News. Yes, misfoxification. The Russian version will have American saboteurs. I would actually have no problem with a version that just focused on the heroism of all the Russians who sacrificed themselves to avert a worse disaster. Because that's fucking hardcore. That's going in knowing what you're doing is a death sentence, but you have to do it because to do nothing has the potential to cost millions of lives. And to know that, to stare that in the face and go, this is going to kill me. With some people, it killed them within days, others within weeks, others within years. And some lived longish lives and dealt with various health effects and ultimately cancer. But yeah, it ranged from the people who died within days, in weeks, in months, and then years, and then other people who lived decades and eventually died from health complications. But to actually do that, and you know, I always marvel when a lot of people glibly say, "I'd do it. I'd sacrifice myself rather." You like to think you would. You like to think you could go, if I do this, I'm going to die. If I don't do this, just an astonishing number of people are going to die. And you like to think you would take the action, but holy fuck, you know, I'm not really on board with people who glibly say, "I'd do it. I'd sacrifice myself." Yeah, maybe you would. Yeah, maybe you're full of shit. I think we all like to think we do some noble sacrifice, but man, to knowingly do it, to sit there and go, this is definitely going to kill me, but if I don't do it, so many other people are going to die. That's just fucking hardcore. Yes, misfoxification. The Japanese in Fukushima, and there was that story that went around, like, after they basically settled Fukushima down, but there was a cleanup required. A bunch of senior citizens said, "We volunteer to do it because whoever does this is going to die, but we're old and are near death anyway, so we're not really giving anything up. Young people shouldn't do this cleanup and then die in 5 or 10 years. We're going to die in 5 or 10 years anyway, so we volunteer to do the cleanup." I never really heard how that went, if that's how it went. But even just reading the thing of these senior citizens saying, we volunteer to do the cleanup because, you know, we're close to death anyway. Young people shouldn't die for this. Again, that was a great story, but yeah, but even you know, minor things like when there's a violent incident, like a terrorist attack or random violent incident where people step up and put themselves in harm's way, frequently resulting in their own death. But they do it because it's like someone has to stop this. Yeah, I'm always in awe of that. And there's all these things like, if you're trying to be right on, whether you're right wing or left wing, there's a whole bunch of issues where you can glibly act really right on, like, oh, I'd definitely do that. Yep, oh, I'd definitely do that. I was like, yeah, well, get fucked. You don't know until the time comes. You don't know what you would do until the time comes. So to glibly just sit there big noting yourself, well, I'll definitely do that. No, fuck off. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. A misclassification talking about Fukushima, still critical. If there's one major quake, yeah, spent fuel rods could collapse. Yeah, no. And Japan is such high risk with earthquakes. For those who don't know, I talk about this reasonably, but I'm a contractor. I'm a consultant for IT work. So I work in lots of different places. I've worked in, banks, government, utilities, universities, all over. And one of the jobs I did for a bank was one for their expansion into Asia. They were going into all the Asian markets. So I had to do analysis of the legal requirements around security in all the countries they were going to, and then compare it to the bank's infrastructure and validate if the bank was meeting those things. It's a fun. I'm a nerd. Agro Pixie, hello, how are you? Other people thought it would be boring, but I took some interest. Like Singapore's really high tech and is absolutely fucking hyper focused on cybersecurity. China, unsurprisingly, the big thing is you've got to give the government a backdoor into everything. Japan fascinated me because they're still really fixated on paper records. They trust paper records more than computer records. But there are certain provinces in Japan, if your data center is in these provinces, you have to have an earthquake plan. You have to prove to the government in that prefecture that, okay, if this entire fucking prefecture is destroyed in an earthquake, the systems will still be secure because we have these backups. But it was the earthquake plan. There are certain provinces and prefectures in Japan where you have to have earthquake recovery plans because they just say, you know what, earthquakes are going to fucking happen. They just do. And I found that really interesting. And yes, they're going to learn. AgroPixie, all three of your pets have special needs and you love them. Yes. So I call Aidsy my special needs pet. He's about to go into hospital for all sorts of shit. If you, we did that podcasty thing, oh God, it's almost 2 weeks ago now. He went into some detail about what the hospital's going to do to him at the end of the month. I'm going to try and get in this weekend. Hopefully I'll get in this weekend and record some more stuff before he goes to hospital. And if he's going to be in hospital for a couple of weeks, maybe I'll record a podcast from his hospital bed. Oh yeah, misclassification, you're right about IT security is a fucking joke. It's like, basically, if you work in IT security, you're under literal constant attack, particularly if you're a juicy target like a bank. You're under constant attack, and you have to get lucky every time. The attackers only have to get lucky once. And the fucking infrastructure of banks is getting battered non-stop by attacks. And it's a fucking, and it's because if you do your job well in IT security, nothing happens. So then you have to put up with fucking numpties in corporate going, why do we even spend all these millions of dollars on IT security? It's not worth it. Nothing happens. If you do your job well, it looks like you're not doing anything. And it's fucking nightmare. Oh yeah, misclassification. All the various tools and devices that are just toys for completely unskilled attackers to use. let alone the fucking skilled attackers, because they'll deploy the ultimate weapon, social engineering. Just the pure hardware and software-based security attacks are devastating. But someone who's good at social engineering, like just ringing a bank and tricking someone into giving their password information, they're the real fucking killers. People who know how to do social engineering. Look, it's 9:30. Who dares me to have an appletini or my version thereof? I'll make it very pink. I think I'll do that. To get a couple things ready to do. Man, that port one was really good. Now I've only got oh no, I've got another bottle of port somewhere. I think I've got a teeny tiny bit of that one left. But I think I have another bottle of like tawny port somewhere. Who knows? It's actually not here. I think it's somewhere else in the house. Who knows? Because one time, young Mr. Angry had a party with a bunch of teenagers, and we didn't trust them, so moved all the booze out of the kitchen, put it in our ensuite. It's basically in the spa bath in my bedroom. 2 years in this house, and I've never used the spa we have. I should do a live stream from the spa. Who wants me to do a live stream from a spa? It'd probably work. I think my Wi-Fi would work in there. I could do a bubble bath in the spa and mix myself a couple of drinks in the bath. Oh, the thing you see here, say if a staff member puts a USB into a system, most banks and most institutions that are serious about technology have started to disable USB ports on systems. It's fucking security's a nightmare. Honestly, it is such a nightmare. All right, I'm against my slightly better judgment. I'm gonna make a version of an appletini. I just need to get ready. Oh, God Almighty. Okay, I need to tip this ice out. Get some fresh ice. Okay. Okay, so step one, get a bit of ice. Yep, some bottles are touching. Bottles are touching. You don't like noise. Nancy hates noise. Bottles are touching. All right, so this is the apple pear. What's up, Nimsy? Up the apples and pears, and I'll use this pink vodka. Well, I didn't put it. I think I've got some cranberry. Have I got cranberry? Have I got cranberry? I thought I had some cranberry. I've got some pom. Oh no, cranberry. There it is. Put a bit of cranberry in. Okay. So, gonna make an appletini. I don't even know what's traditionally in an appletini. Catherine, how if I never use the spa, you'd be in it every night. It's just, it seems like too much hassle, basically. Yes, that's the high-tech security solution, Ms. Voxlocation. Superglue the USB port. The CIA learned they had to do that some years ago. They seemed oblivious to how big a risk USB ports are now. Every laptop and PC in the CIA has the USB ports glued. So I'm going to do that. Vodka, pink vodka. Obstwasser aus Äpfeln und Birnen, which is apple and pear brandy, basically. It's the thing they call it in Germany and Austria, the Wasser. Not really water, is it? They have a whole bunch of spirits that are something Wasser. Kirschwasser, Goldschlager. No, that's not Wasser, is it? Just right, I'm going to put some, it's actually cran pomegranate. Is that okay? Used by the, I bet this is, I don't even want to look. I'll just potentially poison myself. Best before, okay, yeah, I didn't want to look at that. That's okay. Put a bit of the cranberry in here. That's a good analogy, Miss Foxification. A lot of people who live near a major tourist attraction never go to it. Hello, Mimsy's down here demanding I pat her. Gotta love German compound words, Charlie. All right. Suitably chill it with a little bit of ice shaking. Oh, Benjamin, I never pay attention to the dislikes. Well, I don't actually see them for me. I don't know. I find it really hilarious that there are people that are that obsessed about me, quite honestly. I think it's really funny to be that obsessed with someone that you who doesn't even know you exist. Hey, Laura, how's it going? All right. Ah, yes, that's what we like. It doesn't even look that, looks a bit more red on there. It's very pink in real life, I assure you. I'm drinking a very pink martini. Yeah, that's not bad. I think the port one was better, but that's not bad. Mimsy, why don't you come up here where people can see you? I know you know I can scratch you there, but I like to, you know, make you perform for the public. Come up here. Are you going to, you're going to ignore me? Fair enough. Laura woke up with a backup. That's it. You're late to the party. Oh yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Not only is the US running concentration camps, Australia is leading the world in fucking torture-based concentration camps. It's an absolute bomb. Like, I think the UN has actually called what Australia is doing a crime against humanity. Benjamin, it's not strawberry. It's I dissolved some sort of red rock candy or pinkish rock candy. I think it was a peach flavor rock candy into vodka. And then I added some apple pear brandy, which is clear, and a little bit of cranberry juice. So I've ended up with this pinky red Chernobyl cherry. You think? Well, I feel like that should actually have a cherry liqueur. I'm out of cherry liqueur. I should maybe get some more. I keep thinking I should stop buying alcohol, but it's so much fun. No, yes, maybe it's just the blood of my enemies. That could be it. Oh God, yeah, Miss Foxification. Isn't it fun? Australia getting attention around the world for repressive police state bullshit. Like the police raids on journalists literally made world news. Like, because journalists around the news are going, holy fuck, a supposed democracy has the police raiding journalists because the journalists ran a story that embarrassed them. It was like, fucking hell. Benjamin, an Australian guy, recommended you add sliced bread with butter, banana slice. That's actually, yeah, no, that's legit. He's not jerking you. It's not something I eat, but it is popular with some people. A sandwich with banana and sugar on it. That's an actual real thing people do. Not so much me, but it is. That's legit, because occasionally Australians just totally fucking mess with people. Georgie, don't tub me Australia's Sankt Oiga. I'll go with it. I know he's the young Turk guy, yeah. Trying to think weird Australian things that I actually like. Oh my God, I remember a year or two ago, there was some fucking weird ass food blog post from America. It might have even been like the New York Times. It's like they discovered fairy bread. And fairy bread is a kid's treat we have at parties. It's just buttered bread with hundreds and thousands sprinkled on it. That's it. You know, sometimes you do jelly. I used to have jelly crystal sandwiches as a kid. For an American, that's Jell-O, the flavored jelly powder. I would go mad for jelly crystal sandwich, just buttered bread with fucking jelly crystals sprinkled on. You're having a sugar sandwich. Like, that's so fucked up. Things I used to do as a kid. Some people call that a fairy bread variation, sprinkling jelly crystals on it. Or, you know, you can fucking be a fancy wanker with those different cake toppings that you can get. But really, fairy bread's buttered bread with hundreds of thousands. And this fucking, I think it was the New York Times, it was some fucking food blog, said, oh, I discovered fairy bread now. And then they managed to fuck it up and also say stuff that wasn't true. It was very weird. I was very angry at them. I made a video at the time about how angry I was. Adele, late, but you're here. That's all that counts. Nug, you remember when American discovered sausage rolls? Love sausage rolls. You can have really bogs. Sausage rolls, for those who know, are just flaky pastry with sort of like sausage mince. But you can have upmarket one. You can have sort of better quality fillings in it. It's just flaky pastry rolled up with thing. But I unironically love sausage rolls, even cheap ones. But you can get some really good upmarket ones as well. Oh my God, Adele, peanut. See, I don't like peanut butter. But peanut butter on bread with sprinkles. I love that just for the decadence. Even though I don't like peanut butter, I'm going to give that one a thumbs up just for the decadence of peanut butter on bread with sprinkles. That's pretty fucking awesome. I like, you know, these days, because you get in the supermarket, besides peanut butter, you can get cashew spread and what. I like the cashew spread. Oh, that's yummy. That's good. Charlie, you're from a Dutch family, so you had Vlokken, chocolate flakes of bread. That's yeah, you get some very, if you have families of different ethnicities, you get some very interesting variations on treats. Yeah, Megaleech, you're true. Mrs. Angry could do tapping to make me like peanut butter, but peanut butter is not particularly healthy, so I don't have any urge to want to like it. I should do it with fish. I actually did do it because I never ate fish, but we did do. For those who don't know, tapping is a therapeutic technique. It's also known as EFT, which is the cheesy emotional freedom techniques, but it's an actual real functional therapeutic technique that has amazing fucking powers. It's mental. I've made some videos on it. Look it up on my channel if you want to see weird shit. Search on the AngryAussie channel for EFT or EMDR. It's fucking weird. Yeah, but see, okay, Kaji, cucumbers are healthy. Carrots are healthy. I learned to like to eat cucumbers and carrot and onion and capsicum and tinned tuna, because I never liked fish. I thought maybe I should like tinned tuna. And this thing starts off like, you know, out of 10, how much do you want to eat this? And I'm like, fucking 0. I don't want to touch that. It's like, okay, have a mouthful. Take a bite. And it's like, right, you do this tapping thing. You prime yourself by tapping here. Like, even though I don't like the idea of eating this, I've got a 0 out of 10 motivation to eat it, I accept myself anyway. And you prime a couple of times doing that. Then you've got to tap these key points. You've got to tap here saying, I don't want to eat this. I think it's gross. It seems like a gross thing to eat. I'm not going to eat it. Here, under here, and then top here. And I swear to fucking God, tapping can help with trauma, can help with stress. Like, if I'm fucking freaked out at work because the boss is giving me a hard time, I will do EFT on myself. But with food, it can get you to eat things that you don't, things that are good for you, but you don't like. And suddenly you realize, oh no, this is actually okay. But it can also help with, it does the opposite. It helps with food cravings. It's like, oh, I can't give up fucking chocolate. And, oh yeah, Kit Kat, I can never give up. And it can, stuff you feel like you can't resist. You do this and suddenly it becomes really easy to resist. It's fucking weird. I call it brain magic because it makes no sense. And if you find my videos where I'm doing it, I tend to do a preface like, look, I don't believe you if this seems implausible, because obviously I could easily fake this and you need to be taking it on faith that I'm not faking it. But this shit is real and works, and it's wild. The jewel. I'm Schenk. I'm Schenk Uyghur. I know. It's. I'm shit at pronouncing Turkish words and names. I know because I made some Turkish friends on YouTube, and I did some collabs with them, and they got me to say some phrases in Turkish, and I was really bad at it. But I think his name's pronounced something like Cenk Uyghur. Cenk Uyghur at a cocktail bar. Yes. I haven't watched him much. I watched some Young Turks, and yeah, there is a significant crossover with our worldviews. Yank Yoiga. Is that how you reckon it's pronounced, Charlie? I'd actually believe you. Yank. Yank Yoiga. I did one collab with my Turkish friend Efe, and it was like some Harry Potter jokes. And he gave me basically one leg. Why am I saying leg? One line to say in Turkish, and he wrote it down, but he recorded an audio file of what it's supposed to sound like. And for whatever reason, I didn't listen to the audio file, and I just looked at the way it was written down and thought, oh, it's probably pronounced like this. And I recorded a thing, my idea of how that was supposed to be pronounced, and sent it to him. And he just sent me back a reply that's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? That's not even close. Why the fuck, listen to the audio file. And I listened to the audio file, and yeah, the correct pronunciation was about, maybe he's going to come up and say hello to the webcam by the looks of that. The correct pronunciation was like 100 miles from what I did. But I eventually got it right. Yes, it's funny when you're Anglo, like you're an English speaker. I don't speak any languages apart from English. You start to apply default English pronunciation to every language, and it's almost always wrong, usually horrifically wrong. And yeah, Turkish in particular, when a Turkish person types something out, says, this is a Turkish phrase, if I try to pronounce that, I won't be even close. It's kind of, it just made me think of a couple of dudes. Oh, Mimsy's coming back. Oh, she's going to show her butt to the camera. Oh, that's really tacky, Mimsy. Jet Crew, these two lads, like the most popular Polish YouTube channel in Australia. One of the guys, his family is Polish. The other guy isn't. And they have a running joke where the Polish guy tries to get the Aussie guy to pronounce Polish words. He just writes them down for him. And he's always horribly wrong. I like that, Charlie. With Dutch, the rule is use more phlegm. Or you think I've been able to speak fluent drunkenese? I get super, this will surprise nobody. I get super fucking talkative when I'm drunk. I mean, if you watch the live streams, I'm pretty goddamn talkative anyway. But yeah, if oh God, I could probably search and find the most embarrassing video of me on YouTube. It's not on my channel. There's a guy who used to post years ago under the name The Mighty Thor, and he came out here for a YouTube meetup. No, he's just been eclipsed by all the fucking Marvel things with Thor. Wait, maybe if I don't put a gap, because his channel was called The Mighty Thor. No, still is just all Marvel shit. Let's show Marvel shit. I quite like Thor. Chris Hemsworth is awesome. And actually, this dude might have deleted his YouTube channel as well, which would complicate it. But basically what happened, we had this big YouTube meetup in Melbourne. This is like 10 fucking years ago. That's how long I've been on YouTube. 10 years ago. And we went out drinking at a venue that was really loud. And I got pretty fucking shit-faced and trying to have conversations on our Zoom means you're shouting all the time. So I basically lost my voice. And we went out in the street, and this dude, he was shooting vlog for his YouTube channel. And I just come and go, and I'm just like grabbing around the throat, YouTubers are the best, I love you. Except my voice is 90% gone, and I'm so fucked up. I went and saw Men in Black International on the weekend. Look, it's not a great film. It's a fun little silly distraction of films. It is absolutely not going down in history as a fantastic film. It was a diversion. It achieved what I expected it to. Brief disclaimer, Mrs. Angry and I went to a cocktail bar before we went to see the movie. I did have 3 cocktails before going to see it, so maybe my view's a bit coloured. But yeah, it hasn't been very well reviewed, Men in Black International. It's not great. It's very lightweight. It's kind of funny because it has Thor and Valkyrie in it. It's very funny to team those 2 actors up in a completely different film. Yeah, it's basically it's very lightweight. It's a bit of frivolous fun. It's definitely I'd look very strangely at someone who said that was their favorite film ever. I think they're a very weird person. Now, Kaiju, it's not a reboot. It's in the same universe as the original Men in Black. It's just happening in London. So it's not a reboot. It's just a story in the same universe. Miss Foxcation, you're right. Men in Black 2 was a very shameless cash-in. Men in Black 3 was probably better than Men in Black 2, which is what I think is a Shakespearean term, damning with faint praise. Kaiju, look, I'm going to go out on a limb with unpopular opinion time. You're saying it's what the Ghostbusters 2016 film could have been. That Ghostbusters reboot with a female cast is better than the original Ghostbusters, quite simply. As simple as that. The original Ghostbusters is not very good. It coasts on Bill Murray's personality. The remake, the reboot, whatever you want to call it, is funnier with better acting. It's kind of cheating to say it has better effects because that's just 20, 30 years in time. Of course, the effects are better. But it's a better script. It's funnier. The actors are better. The original Ghostbusters is not great. Just coasts on Bill Murray's personality. I know, Jewel. I'm making the big call. Possible unpopular opinion. And the thing, it's personal taste. I don't mind if someone didn't like that. Personal taste is personal taste. And people have different things. I have no time for the idiot misogynists who went on about it. But okay, Ghostbusters 2 was a fucking travesty, okay? It was an absolutely shameless cash-in. And people will go like, oh, the female Ghostbusters ruined your child. No, fuck you. Ghostbusters 2 ruined that. And if that didn't, the ridiculous cash-in, shitty animated series fucking ruined it. Oh, Laura, the Conservative leadership in the UK, it's Boris Johnson. It was always going to be Boris Johnson, which is fucking hilarious and is so much fuel for me. Absolutely so much fuel for me. Miss Fox was saying a Korean show Pandora is like Chernobyl and Fukushima combined. Yes, Kaiju. Yeah, right. Misogyny does ruin everything. I mean, I swear to God, the fucking internet misogynists hurt themselves so badly. They convince themselves that the fucking Star Wars music, they convince themselves that Mad Max Fury Road is a bad film because of how it centers on Furiosa. Mad Max Fury Road is one of the best fucking films in history. I say that. I'm not being ironic. I'm not trying to start a fight. Mad Max Fury Road is fucking epic. Anyone who doesn't like it has serious fucking problems. That film is beyond legendary. Look what I finished right on 10 o'clock. Yeah, Jill, I agree with you. Don't even mention Ghostbusters 2. Look, the original is funny. I just think the reboot is funnier, and the actors are better. I think the original Ghostbusters coasted too much on Bill Murray's personality, and the new Ghostbusters was much more of an ensemble piece. The original Ghostbusters faked being an ensemble piece, but it was all just coasting on Bill Murray. Anyway, yes, that's the end of the night. Thank you so much for your company, as always. I had a great time hanging out with you. I had 2 cocktails. Hopefully I'll be fine for work tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how I feel in the morning. Look after yourself, and look, keep an eye out. I might be doing surprise live streams on the weekend. Might even do 2. You never know. I'm going to be hanging out with some YouTubers. Might even do it on Facebook. I don't know. This is just an idea that's tossing around my head. There might be no live streams on the weekend. There might be 2 live streams on the weekend. So keep an eye out that I might. Okay, this Fox Vacation Pandora's on Netflix. I'll look for it. Jill, when you say Kirsten Wiig shits on Bill Murray, I think if Bill Murray pays her enough, I think Kristen Wiig would do that. Yes, no, Kristen Wiig is fucking hilarious. What's the full name of that movie? Is something like Ghostbusters Answer the Call. It's great. I love it. And Chris Hemsworth is so funny. He's such a good comedic actor. I mean, he's okay in Men in Black International, but he's fucking brilliant in Thor Ragnarok and Ghostbusters. He's such a good comedic actor. Anyway, everyone, thank you for your time. You're super awesome people. Love hanging out with you. I'll do it again sometime soon. Like I said, keep an eye out. There might be some surprise live streams on the weekend. Also, maybe not, because it's only a possibility at the moment. But look after yourselves, whatever the case. Hope to see you again soon. But I will say bye for now.